Over recent years, we've seen a number of games like My Friendly Neighborhood come out. Creepy cartoon characters come to life in an old entertainment studio, and it falls to you to risk life and limb exploring these places and the horrors they contain. This isn't the first time we've seen horror developers fall into certain trends in search of their next big hit. But my question for the newest addition to the murderous cartoon characters trend is it any different than the rest? Or is it just more of the same? In this video, we'll be taking a deeper dive into the demo for My Friendly Neighborhood, picking apart the layers we currently have and seeing if what we've got is a diamond in the rough or just another cash grab. My Friendly Neighborhood is a game developed by John and Evan Szymanski? I googled this and it said Szymanski, so if you two are watching this and I butchered it, I severely apologize. The game was published by DreadXP and the demo was posted to Steam on February 21st of 2022. John and Evan are brothers who've been developing games together since at least 2015, that I can find. Together they've made Sumo Revise, Kyle is Famous, and Evomorphs. Coincidentally, their third brother, David Szymanski, is also a horror developer, his latest release being Iron Lung. Yes, that Iron Lung, where you literally cruise around a sea of blood. Pyrocynical actually released a really good video on how amazing that game is, so I suggest you check that one out. The plot of My Friendly Neighborhood is fairly straightforward, at least from the demo we have available at this time. You play as Gordon, a repairman sent to investigate some weird shenanigans happening at an old closed-down TV studio. The studio was home to a show titled The Friendly Neighborhood, which delighted audiences across the globe with their kooky capers and educational adventures. Eventually, time went on, people grew up, and the puppets were no longer in the spotlight. The studio would lock its doors and the puppets inside for good. That is, until years later when the studio suddenly begins to start broadcasting the show again, this time with some not-so-family-friendly viewing material. The game begins with Gordon entering the building, via tube slide of course. A sock puppet named Ricky explains that Gordon is in the basement and his goal is to reach the roof to check the antenna. Ricky continues to explain that Gordon will have to watch out for Ray, the monster janitor thing, and that he doesn't like it when people intrude on his territory. Ray was moved to the basement for being grouchy, and he can't leave due to being unable to figure out how to use the elevator buttons. However, he's able to travel around using pipes instead, alluding to his mechanic in the game. Gordon is equipped with a gun, and eventually shotgun, that shoot letters. Yes, like the alphabet kind of letters. The normal puppet variants can be knocked down by shooting them, in at least 2 hits with headshots, however they will eventually get back up unless tied down with tape. There are also health vials, chocolate bars that increase your speed for a short amount of time, and tokens to use for saving or getting more healing. The game offers several new modes and cheats which require finishing the demo and/or finding hidden collectibles in the game to acquire. These are camera mode, speedrun mode, long arms, unlimited Rolodexer ammo, and unlimited novelist ammo. My first blind playthrough of the demo took a little less than an hour. My second playthrough was just meant to record gameplay, however, I ended up discovering some really interesting things using camera mode. Originally, I was just trying to find the third cheat, but I ended up finding several hidden rooms and Easter eggs in one level. This included the mouse room, a literal room with just a bunch of mice surrounding a VHS tape for a cheat. On the wall is a note for possibly another Easter egg. Ducky refers to John's Twitter handle, @DuckySzymanski, and the dots and zigzags are his profile picture. This led me down a rabbit hole in the Steam forums for the game, where I was able to find another weird room with cardboard furniture and a ladder outside the room with a sign behind it that says roof access. Along with this, I noticed a weird-looking blob off in the distance, and of course, I had to go check it out. After getting closer, it looked like the body of an alien worm kind of thing. My guess is possibly a nod to one of the games John and Evan worked on together, Evomorphs. There were several more Easter eggs visible with camera mode that I didn't even find, so shout out to the dudes in the My Friendly Neighborhood Steam forums for finding all that stuff. Something I felt considerable to note was that there are several gameplay comparisons to one of the best series, and one of my personal favorites in horror, Resident Evil. After compiling my list of similarities, I felt like it was definitely intentional, and the developers likely took some inspiration from the games. So first thing I noticed was the inventory management system. Opening your inventory will pull out a grid-lined suitcase where you can organize and rotate your items to fit them inside, identical to pretty much every Resident Evil game. Next, the map. The map you acquire later on is color-coded either green or red. Green for completed rooms or red for in-progress rooms. This is also identical to Resident Evil, where the maps are always color-coded by rooms and/or doors, indicating which areas still contain items or whether doors are still locked. The save system is also similar in that both games you require a collectible item to use at a save spot. In Resident Evil, you collect ink ribbons to use at typewriters to save your progress. In My Friendly Neighborhood, tokens are used for both saving and regaining health at their respective dispensers. Lastly, this one is a less solid comparison than the others, but some of the music in the game is very reminiscent of save room music in Resident Evil. Resident Evil does an amazing job with save room music, somehow making it sound comforting yet unsettling at the same time. The background music doesn't play at every save point in My Friendly Neighborhood, but at the first one you encounter it does, and I was personally getting heavy Resident Evil save room vibes in there. The first clip I showed was where I actually realized for the first time how much the music and the setting of the save room reminded me of Resident Evil. Music doesn't play much in My Friendly Neighborhood, and getting this juxtaposition of a slightly unsettling yet calm atmosphere is a huge thing used in Resident Evil. Now that we've got all the backstory, plot, and interesting facts about the game out of the way, I'd like to talk about my thoughts and opinions on My Friendly Neighborhood so far. Initially, my opinions on this demo were going to be rather harsh, to be honest. I've generally been wary when games like this are released. And by games like this, I mean games where the aesthetics are cartoony and the enemies are evil versions of typical children's playthings. The premise is pretty much always the same too. Weird stuff going on in old kids' entertainment manufacturer place, go investigate it. We go investigate it, and it's all the old toys in the building trying to kill us. Not a new concept. Nor is the idea of jumping on the bandwagon of these types of games in hopes of making a cash grab. Games like these can appeal to both adults and kids, and are incredibly easy to market and produce other media or merchandise for. They usually have mascot characters, distinct visuals and aesthetics, and try their best to leave hints at deeper lore within the game in hopes of Mr. Game Theory MatPat making a video on them. Before taking a deeper look into My Friendly Neighborhood, I thought this would be hardly any different from the others, but I'm glad to say I think I was wrong. My first experience with the demo was streaming it on my Twitch channel, which you can follow if you want, and it took me roughly an hour. I played through it start to finish, and that was that. But making this video caused me to have to do deeper research on the game, learning more about it and its developers. And while the game's concept isn't inherently unique, I believe its creators have a genuine passion and love for its development. Currently on the game's Steam page, there are 2 developer update videos made by John. In them, he gives us behind-the-scenes looks at the development of the demo and future things to come in the game. He explained that he came up with the concept for My Friendly Neighborhood after he created a game for DreadXP for one of their DreadX collections, and they liked it so much they asked him to make a standalone game for them. At the time of posting the first behind-the-scenes video, he said he had been working on the game for a year and a half, meaning he likely started development in late 2020 or early 2021. He goes into depth explaining explaining the early stages of the game and what he changed to improve it. John even mentioned taking feedback players had from the demo and implementing it into the game. You can tell this is a project he genuinely loves and is having a lot of fun with. This combined with his intentional or not inspiration from other horror games and taking the time to add fun secret stuff into the demo says to me that this is a developer who's taking his time to do research, listening to his audience, and doing his best to make sure we have fun playing. It's of course impossible to gauge if the full game will continue this trend, as we currently only have the demo to work off of for this video. I'm sure in the future when the full game releases I'll make another video analyzing it, so until then, we'll have our fingers crossed that My Friendly Neighborhood continues in an upward trend in terms of quality. But I can safely say that as it currently stands, I think My Friendly Neighborhood is a product of developers who genuinely love making games and put passion into their project. It isn't the best game in the world, but it doesn't need to be. It's a fun experience and looks to me like a promising endeavor. I'm excited to see what more the developers have in store for us with this game. Until then, you can catch me live on Twitch where I plan on streaming a lot of the games I want to review. This is my first video like this, so I'm still pretty cringe, but it's honestly been a lot of fun working on this entire thing. I went to school for game design, and I work as a QA tester, so analyzing the shit out of games is very much my thing. I've got a lot more exciting projects planned for the future, so if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.